Marhaba and hello once again. This is Sunday, December 8th, 2024. I'm American historian Dr. Jack Dempsey, and with me is Muhammad Jihad Ismael of Gaza, living in Deir al-Balah all his life. We are gathered today in honor and, well, in our usual activism for the cause of justice, equality, and peace for the Palestinian people in their own country. Mohammed and I have produced over 50 programs on Palestinian subjects across the board over the past few years, and today comes another one. But today comes a special one too, because we're here to honor and celebrate this man, Saleem al Naffar, a Palestinian poet, very close, dear friend of Muhammad's, who was killed a year ago tomorrow, along with two complete families of people in his house in northern Gaza, which he had refused to leave. We are going to share his work with you by having Muhammad read some of those works in Arabic, and I will then read them in English, thanks to Muhammad's translations. And there you go, Mohammed. We have a little introduction there, and just want to say I'm really glad to see you. And do you have anything to say right up front today?
Yeah, hello, brother. I am happy to be talking with you today. It is a special meeting to talk about Salim.
Yes.
These days are marking the first anniversary of the murder of Salim. So we are going today to chant some of his poetry and to talk a little bit about his life, about his career, and about our friendship.
Very good. Mohammed, if I may, I'll share a little of the essential facts about Salim's life, and you can add to it anything you'd like before we get directly to the poems. Salim al Naffar was born in 1963 into the crude conditions of a refugee camp near Gaza City. Salim was hardly of walking age when his father passed away after the 1967 war with Israel, and that forced his family to migrate to another camp of desperation called Al Ramal near Latakia in Syria. Salim's word for that boyhood is melancholy, and that boyhood ended when, again, his father passed away there, making Salim the family man most responsible for his mother, brother, and sisters. Literature and poetry were Salim's solace. He began writing lyrics in high school and then studied Arabic literature at Tishreen University. After first seeking out any available stage for reciting his poems, Salim soon began placing them in Arabic journals and newspapers. As he began a family of his own, his literary reputation grew, and after the 1994 founding of the Palestinian Authority, Salim returned with his family to live in Gaza, where he lived for the rest of his life. He was the author of several recognized volumes of poems that are now read and taught in Palestinian schools. He wrote a couple of novels, one called Nights of Latakia and an autobiography called Little Memory on Happiness, working also, Salim was, as an editor for a range of Arabic journals and magazines. Salim once said, quote, generations of my family have endured the needless poverty of apartheid. From that, I sometimes sing of our despair. But maybe people like my work because even so, it never gives in to hatred or calls for violence. And neither, I can tell you from years of experience and friendship with this man, Muhammad, that neither does he harbor any such thing in his heart. They, along with all their people, want most to live in peaceful coexistence, such as their families of grandparents and before them knew before 1948 in Palestine. So there are the bare essentials of the facts, Mohammed. You used to have coffee all the time with Salim and you would talk about everything under the sun. Does anything, first of all, come to your memory about things that you used to do or talk about together?
Yeah, I used to stay like 5 or 6 hours every day with Salim. we were meeting at a cafe in order to have some coffee, to drink coffee. Saleem was drinking huge amounts of coffee. He was drinking like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
Oh man.
cups of coffee. Yeah, he was telling me always, Muhammad, I am sinful. I am sinful towards my family because I am wasting most of my income on coffee and cigarettes. I am so bad, father. Yeah. We were sitting in the coffee shop and talking too much. He was telling all the people, Muhammad is my critic. Muhammad is my first critic. Whenever I make a fresh poem, the first person who must hear this poem is Muhammad. If Muhammad doesn't hear this poem, I cannot send it to magazines or newspapers, or I cannot print it also at a book. Yeah. So Muhammad is my first critic. Yeah. Here we have something strange. Me, Muhammad, I don't like poetry. I don't like poetry. Yeah. So this was something like a difference, big difference between us. He was a great poet, and at the same time, I didn't like poetry. But despite that, he was telling people, Muhammad is my critic, and he must hear me. He must be the first person to listen my fresh poems. Yeah.
That
So
that
sometimes,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah,
So sometimes,
yeah. So sometimes when I attend to the cafe, I see that Salim is putting some papers on the table. Yeah, whenever I open the door of the cafe and I look to the table and see that Salim is putting some papers on the table, I deduce directly that there is some fresh poetry, and Salim wanted me to listen them today. Yeah,
and
yeah. It was.
it
Yeah,
tells something about Salim too, that the first person he wanted to show his poetry was a person he knew did not much care for poetry. He must have thought that
yeah,
if I can please Muhammad, then the lovers of poetry will like the work even more. He wanted to go
yeah,
right into the mouth of the lion and see if his work was any good.
yeah, yeah. That's right. So many people were asking and wondering how they are friends. Salim is poet, Muhammad is historian. So we cannot understand how they are close friends like that. Yeah, because we have different interests. He is a poet and I am a historian.
And did you ever find yourself saying to Salim, I'm sorry, Salim, I do not like this poem, or I think this needs to be
No,
corrected or fixed or anything like that? Or did you always like what he said?
no, actually no. But to be honest with you, and it's the first time for me to say that. Sometimes I were unable to understand what he is saying.
Hmm.
Maybe his performance was rapid, so I cannot understand each word. I cannot. Yeah, but always I were smiling. I cannot do anything other than smiling
And with all that
because
coffee,
and I have to.
drinking all that coffee,
Yeah,
Muhammad, he must have been speaking very fast.
yes, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
And so you're a historian. Salim was a poet. What kinds of things did you talk about? What kinds of things did you share between your minds? What did you talk about for so long with him every visit?
Yeah. We were talking about the situation, the daily life. He was telling me always about his family. He was sharing with me all his thoughts for the future of his children. He was sharing with me all of his pains, all of his problems, all his details, all his details. He was telling me all his secrets. He was telling me everything about his private life. Uh, and I were so happy that Salim was trusting me to that extent. He was telling me everything, you know. We also were talking about the cultural atmosphere, the new published books, the new poems. He was telling me the new poems, the new poetry. We were talking about the seminars, about the cultural activities, something like that.
And Mohammed, you told me a few times in different ways that Salim felt that I was his friend also, that we were brothers in literature, in activism, in trying to speak for our peoples, to help our peoples. Um, why did you call him a wild adventurer? What was it about Salim that made him to you a wild adventurer?
Yeah. Salim has decided to stay in Gaza City and inside the hottest area, the hottest neighborhood inside Gaza, which is Nasser neighborhood. This neighborhood was very dangerous area. It was targeted all the time by the shelling from sky, from sea, from ground. I phoned him. Also, I sent him so many SMS messages. And right now, I am keeping those messages inside my mobile. I am keeping them for memory. I were begging for him. Please, please, brother, please, my friend, please come here. Come to Deir al-Balah. Deir al-Balah is more safe area. Here I can save you two rooms in the building, in our building. Please come, please come. If it is not for your sake, it will be for the sake of your children, your daughters. Yeah, please, please come. But unfortunately, he was very bold, like the rock. He didn't give me any uh, uh, ability to convince him. He refused at all.
And Mohammed, you've told me also that because Salim grew up in a very poor, difficult place, Latakia refugee camp, that he thought one of his heroes was his mother, who was a very beautiful woman with a very strong character, who took care of his family. Would you like to talk about that a little bit? The people that Salim most admired that made him the man that he was. Very tough, but very gentle and cultivated.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, his mother was named Layla. His mother was his hero. Was his hero. Uh, 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 I remember one day I asked him, Salim, why you are considering your mother your hero, not your father? He told me, Muhammad, my father was dead early, too much early.
When
I
he was
cannot
10.
remember very well so many behaviors. Yeah, I was 10. I cannot remember too much actions or behaviors for my father. Yeah. I cannot remember too much things.
Yeah.
But of course, I remember everything because it was a long journey in life with my mother. Yeah. Also, he was considering or he was taking his mother as a central theme in his works. especially his narrative works, his two novels. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you read his two novels, his mother was the central theme in both of them, in the both novels. Yeah. Uh, he was considering this woman a hero, and I am not exaggerating if I say that he was considering her like a goddess, like Ishtar, the famous goddess in the Levant. Yeah,
As someone who is
because he
strong,
told me, Muhammad,
someone who is strong and wise and not afraid.
exactly. Yeah, that's why he was telling me, Muhammad, my mother used to sacrifice for us. She was very beautiful lady, very beautiful lady. So many men, whether Syrians or Palestinians, and most of them were from the elite of the society, were merchants, were politicians, wealthy men, all of them were coming to ask her for marriage, to engage her, but always she was refusing. She was refusing, and she stood in front of them like the rock. She didn't let anyone to talk in that issue. So she insisted to remain with us, to live the poverty and the cruel life with us, because she insisted to stay with us, only with us. Yeah, and
And
she cared of us, and
and
we raised, and we became yeah.
yeah, and we can
Yes.
see how Salim imitated her strength and her wisdom and her loyalty to the family by wanting to stay with his family when things were absolutely impossible. Mohammed,
Yeah.
I hope that Salim is with us today and will hold up our internet signal a little bit longer for us because he knows now we are going to turn to read some of his poetry. Why don't you start,
Yeah.
Mohammed, by reading in Arabic or reciting in Arabic his poem called Life, and then I will share it in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah. Life. حياة. قد تأكل السكين ما تبقى من ضلوعي. قد تهشم الآلات ما تبقى من حجارة. لكنهم آتون في الطريق. هم يصنعون الحياة.
Thank you. I really,
That's it.
I know what the words say because I've done my homework, but I like the strength in those syllables. Each phrase is very careful. In English, life goes, knives might eat what remains of my ribs. Machines might smash what remains of stones. But life is coming, for that is its way, creating life even for us. He is always looking over the edge of the world, it seems, Muhammad, and showing people where there is a reason to be hopeful. As I was reading that, we lost Muhammad. This is a typical feature of our attempts to communicate on Zoom with Muhammad broadcasting from Gaza. Here he is. You're back, Muhammad, right? You hear me okay?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I was just saying to people as we lost you that Salim is always looking over the edge of the world and showing people where there is a possibility of hope to hang on hard to life when it is most difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Okay, why don't you read the next one called Departure? And I will do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Departure. رحيل. تتثاءب الأرض تفرد جناحيها والجند مترفون بالكلام. الحصار ينبت في الصهيل. ستنقرض المرايا. ستنهمك الجنود بالرحيل بلا كلام.
Thank you, Muhammad. In English, departure. Earth is yawning, spreading her wings. Soldiers are babbling, siege coming closer. Mirrors will go extinct. Soldiers will depart without one word. There's a, there's a great silence around that poem, Muhammad. That poem comes from
Yes,
that
yes,
poem comes from the middle of the troubles all around him, and he still manages to sing beauty.
yes, 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 yeah. He
What
came to me so many times in my dreams. He visited me several times. He visited me several times. Yeah, in the previous months. Yeah.
and what did he say to you, or what was the message when he came to your dreams?
Yeah, at one of the dreams, I saw him swimming between the clouds in the heaven.
That's a beautiful image.
Yeah,
It's as if he wants you to know I am
yeah,
okay.
and he told me,
Yep.
yeah, and he told me, Muhammad, I am drinking more delicious wine that the earthly wine which I used to drink in the on the earth.
Wow, that must have, when you awoke, and you must have had a good feeling in your heart, as if Salim wanted you to know that he is well,
Yeah,
that he is happy, and that he is okay, that he is still with you. That's a powerful thing, that he would want to come
yeah.
and speak with you, his closest friend, to tell you that, so that your heart would not ache too much. Right?
Yes, 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 brother. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, well, let us do the third of the three poems that we were planning. This would be part one of two parts about Salim and his poetry. Why don't you read the poem called "Oh My Lovers"?
Okay. Okay. Oh, my lovers, يا أحبائي، سنأتي ذات يوم يا أحبائي إلى أشيائنا الأولى، فلا قتل يباعدنا ولا زمن سينسينا. هنا في غامض الأوقات وضوح الحق يعلينا، ويعطي حلمنا سندا لتاريخ بأيام تؤاخينا. سنأتي ذات يوم يا أحبائي، فإن الوجد ملتهب ونار القهر تدمينا. هنا كم ساقني درب بعين الطفل يحكينا روايات عن التشريد للمنفى وعن أحزان حادينا، ولكن وعده باق بأن نأتي ولو طالت ليالينا. هنا حيفا وناصرة، هنا يافا تمس القلب في سحر، ونهر العين يعطينا مرارات وأنات لأيام تناجينا. هناكم هزني شوق لأصحاب وألعاب وحارات تنادينا. سنأتي ذات يوم يا أحبائي على مهل يقول الحق قولته، فلا تستأخروا حلما ولا تستعجلوا حينا. فكم في دارنا ركنا على الأيام مرهونا بماضينا. هنا لم يقصه زمن وآلتهم جنون الشر لم تسحق مرامينا. فعطر الحق في أرواحنا باق ولو طالت مسالكنا ولو جنت مآسينا على مهل سيأتينا.
Thank you, Muhammad. There is so much there. The rhythms of it, the repetitions in it. I hear a sound like a prayer, like a chant,
Yeah,
a magic chant or a prayer. Would you
yes,
like to
brother.
say anything
Yeah,
about it?
the rhythm. Yeah, the rhythm is very, very attractive.
Anything you'd like else to say about it? And I'll read the English.
Yeah. As I told you, the rhythm is very, very attractive. It's very, very heart touching.
Yes, yes. In Native American poetry, one of the central rhythms is the rhythm of the heart. Ba-boop, 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 ba-boop. And I felt
Yeah,
something like that coming through the Arabic to me.
yes, brother. And before you read the English text for this poem, I want to tell you that "Oh My Lovers" is the best poem at all the Palestinian books uh, of schools. All the schools in Palestine are learning this poem, "Oh My Lovers," and some schools, especially the departments of comparative literature, are teaching this uh, brilliant, this melodious poem.
That's good to know. And I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah,
Oh, my lovers,
yeah.
we will come one day, oh lovers, to our first things. No murder separating us, nor time letting us forget. In such mysterious ages, right's clarity arises in us, giving powers to our voices for dreams and days that make us brothers. We will come one day, O lovers, where passion is flame and oppression's fire bleeds us. Here many footpaths drove me. My child's eyes are narrating tales of stolen homes, diaspora, and sorrows of our herdsmen. His promise is enduring that we'll return, even if our night is long. Here are Haifa and Nazareth. Here is Jaffa to break the heart with gentlest hands. The river of the eye gives us bitterness and groans, but days whisper to us, yearning has shaken me for friends, games, where chambers of waiting shout aloud. Will come one day, O lovers, right will speak slowly, so do not delay the dream, nor hurry time. Many corners of our home are wound with our history. Time did not exclude us. Their crazy, evil machine did not smash our hopes. The perfume of right sleeps in arteries buried inside us. Even if our footpaths lengthened and our tragedies went further than insane, right will come slowly, slowly come to us. Another prayer, Muhammad,
Good,
another
good, brother.
prayer.
Yes, brother. Yeah,
You said it makes the heart ache.
yeah, yeah. Yes, brother. Yeah. It was translated to dozens of languages. Dozens of languages.
I'm not surprised. Any human being would
Yeah.
read that and understand.
Yes, brother. It's really the embodiment of the universal literature. When you listen about this term, I think this is the best symbol on the term of universal literature. Yeah, I think when you are reading such a poem in Arabic, its rhythm is making an effect even on those people who doesn't understand Arabic. This is the feeling of
I felt that I could hear it.
uh,
So, Mohammed, as we close today, would you like to say anything else about Saleem. It seems to me that of the greatest poets that I know about, they almost all of them see themselves as healers. They are men and women who give medicine to their people, to heal their hearts, to help them carry pain, to help them let go of the past and to live again the way they deserve. Did Saleem talk about his purposes as a poet? What was he trying to do? And there we have the answer cut off. So we'll close our program for today. We thank you so much, and we hope you will also tune back in for part two. Here comes Muhammad again. I think he has something to say to you. But Muhammad, do you think
Yes, yes.
how did Saleem see his purpose as a poet? So many of the great poets give us medicine for the
Yeah,
heart. Did he talk about his work and perhaps in that way?
yeah. Always we were talking in the coffee shop in our sessions about the purpose of poetry. Always I used or I tried to use.
I see. We've lost him again, ladies and gentlemen. I suppose we're taking a hint. And here he comes again, trying his damnedest to get through to you from Deir al-Balah in Gaza. Not all those fancy podcasts, not at all. It's just two historians talking together. Here he is once again. Muhammad, I want to thank you for sharing so much about Saleem today. Ladies and gentlemen, do not miss part two.
Yeah,
And meanwhile, also look in the information here under more, and you will see that Muhammad and his family are hoping eventually to leave Gaza to find a new life for their children. So we have a GoFundMe set up there. And if you can help with only $10, we will reach our goal for them to be able to do that. So please look under more information. If you want further information about this wonderful family, the Ismails, as Muhammad uh, go to Jack Dempsey Writer at WordPress.com. There'll be a link also under the more information for that. Muhammad, I thank you, and I will see you again for our second program about Saleem very soon, right?
okay, brother. Yeah, of course.
Ah, well, we both thank Saleem for holding up the lines of the cosmos and the internet to allow us to communicate as much as we did today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. God bless and peace and justice to everyone.